Hello all, Bowtie Security Guy here with a new shirt sponsor, which I'm quite excited about. JTM Creative Designs. That's a CR8TIVE Designs.com. Um, JTM Creative Designs is incredibly cool. They make amazing shirts that look absolutely phenomenal. They work with different causes like autism awareness, cancer survival, breast cancer awareness, a bunch of awesome stuff. And on top of that, they make really cool, unique shirts. So a percentage of their business for some of those charity shirts goes back to the charity, which I thought was super, super cool. And they're just comfortable, great shirts. They're more of your performance style shirts. They don't really wrinkle. They're great for travel. And they're just kind of phenomenal designs that look nice. And they're very professional, very great cut. I'm totally rocking this one today, all day, because I absolutely love it. And being a tall guy, 6'7", not many shirts fit, so I was pretty stoked when they sent me these shirts. So definitely check them out. Check out their cool designs like Kraken and other things that they do, and then the limited releases that they do. Uh, Really, really cool designs, really cool shirts, and support a small business, American-owned small business. All right, let's get to our video today. Today is about autism, kind of nice segue from a charity that JTM Design supports. Um, a lot of people have kind of asked me, like, how do I do it? You must be an extrovert, or, your autism must not be that bad. It's not as bad as it was when I was younger. In my 20s, my social anxiety was crippling to a point where going in front of a crowd of two or three people and speaking was incredibly, incredibly difficult and requires several days of recovery. Since then, I've learned to store and create a social battery. So the way I look at this is I have a battery for social engagements. If I'm going to be doing a speaking engagement and I know I'm going to be around a lot of people, people are going to want to take selfies, things of that nature, or if I'm going to be helping a lot of people like I did at B-Sides, the first thing I'll do is not be around people for several days, if not longer, to just kind of decompress, not really, really kind of use any of my social stuff. I tend to not do any content during that time. I tend to just kind of sit and chill, and build up what I call a social battery. That battery has its limits, and sometimes those limits can be taxed, and sometimes they can drain a lot faster than I intended. So I'll bring my noise canceling headphones. You'll see me, I'll have these at any conference in my bag, or they'll be on. If they're on, I'm currently overwhelmed. There's a lot of people, things are really loud, and I don't want to freak out and run out the building. So I tend to put on my noise canceling headphones, helps me kind of breathe a little bit. And most people don't really look at you differently when you have headphones on. Not that I care, um, but it's just something that I need to do sometimes. I have level one autism. It's not, um, it, it it's not as it doesn't require as much support as some of the other versions on the spectrum. But it does come with limitations, and one of them was social interaction and social engagement. So I've spent probably a good decade getting more comfortable talking, getting more comfortable in front of a camera, getting more comfortable in front of an audience. For me, I did a lot of what I would call immersion therapy, where I would just go do it. I would embrace the uncomfortable. I would be socially drained. I would get sick beforehand. I mean, it was rough for a very long time. And then at a certain point, it stopped being rough. Can't tell you necessarily what was the triggering point. Um, but it just stopped being hard. So now I can kind of present anywhere. But I mean, that was literally a decade of work of kind of going through and learning what my limitations were, breaking multiple times those limitations, um, having panic attacks, freaking out, All of those things kind of come with it because I had to learn what my limitations were. Now I'm really good at kind of spotting when I'm going to have an issue, and I will bow out. I have absolutely no shame in that. So I've never missed a speaking engagement um, or not done what I was paid to do. But that's about where it ended, where it's like, I have met my obligations, I am done. Um, but some days, my social battery seems to be never ending, and I don't know why. It's just one of those things where some days it's great, other days it's not. And whenever I'm doing any sort of video or content, I tend to kind of store up that energy so I can deliver for you for 7 to 10 minutes, or to do the podcast. That's a one that was really hard for me in the beginning. Um, Talking with someone direct is was difficult for a while, but has now become a lot easier. So a little bit of information on kind of my flavor of autism. May not be yours. You may be different. You may still think I'm lying. That's cool. That's your choice. But if you need any help or if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm happy to have a conversation about it. Good luck out there.